This video is brought to you by the lovely sponsors below. Thank you so much for your support.
2 Lostbelts down. Human history may just win out after all if we keep it up at this rate.
Success rate has increased by 8% with the recent collapse. Recalculating variables.
Yes, but at what cost? I hadn't expected those people to be so human. How can we say we are fighting for human history when our victory means children get left behind? At least with Russia, the Yaga were beastly in form, even if some of them had rather human natures.
It doesn't matter what they look like. If we want pan-human history to survive, then their world has to fall. It's very simple.
Maybe it's better that they are humans. If you blind yourself to that fact, you're blinding yourself to the reality of what we're doing. I think it's better that we get to know them as people. They aren't monsters, and we are not the heroes. Now is not the time to be naive about the war we're fighting.
Do you think I don't know that? I know that no matter what happens, we have to ensure our history survives. But how can I forget how happy they looked just living their lives? They were born, they lived, and they died beside us as comrades!
Then don't. Hold that feeling inside you. You don't have to forget them. But if your will is not strong enough to see this through, Director, then how can anyone look to you for guidance? Leading them does not mean losing yourself.
You're right. And Goredolf, maybe this is why you're here. I know we had our differences, but part of being the director is making those calls while keeping in mind the people your choices affect. With each singularity we went to, we knew it would end when we corrected the anomaly. With those Lostbelts, the difference is that to them, the anomaly is us.
I hate to interrupt, but there is an emergency.
Great timing. Let's go over those readings. Oh. Not great timing.
Oh, just spit it out! If it's important enough to interrupt, it's important enough to get to the point!
The Shadow Border was designed to traverse a wide variety of terrain. However, it was not designed with aquatic travel off of cliffs in mind.
I hope you can swim. I can't.
Da Vinci! I hold you responsible for any lack of preparations! Also, I can't swim.
I may have made a few alterations and suggestions, but I do believe Nell was the one who designed this to be more of a tank than a submarine.
Maybe that's because submarines can't travel over land, Da Vinci. I mean, it's saved us the last few months.
The shadow border may be waterproof, but it does not have the propulsion or buoyancy to remain above the surface after the dive. Conclusion, screwed. Oh, and there is an incoming transmission.
Another survivor? Or is it another threat from the cryptors? Most of the world as we knew it was wiped out when the world was bleached. Quick, bring it up!
Attention, Chaldea. This is your savior speaking. Though, maybe you should reconsider. Your ship isn't very cute. What kind of design is about that won't even float? Well, we can deal with that later. Be prepared to board my happy and peaceful island of terror.
If we see any talking bears, I vote Musaka to deal with it.
Oh hell no. If anyone's going to be an ultimate student, I think an Atlas mage would cover it. Unless there's something else you are hiding here.
About that, judging by the look of this place, I think we might want to keep that on the down low.
Come out, wherever you are. It's rude to keep someone waiting.
Is not it on the table here?
Not it.
Don't be ridiculous! Get out there ahead of me and ensure this place is safe. Pasakun can guard the shadow border while we scout out the situation.
I suppose if they were going to kill us, it would have been easier to let us sink.
Welcome to the Wandering Sea! It sounds like you wandered in just in time to see me. Nothing? Tough crowd. I'll skip to the point then. The imaginary numbers observation device Paper Moon you've been using on the shadow border requires an authorization from Atlas. an authorization you did not obtain in advance. If I calculate the debt you owe compounded with the interest for time in use without a permit, let's just say your souls are mine for eternity.
Nell, what on earth did you do?
Saved our lives, remember?
We may have overlooked that tiny detail. But if you consider the ramifications of our research and advancements in technology due to the alterations to the base of this device, we could share our findings for the small price of forgetting all about it.
What's this? Another super cute genius type? Wait a minute. Aren't you a little short? I thought the great Leonardo da Vinci was much older, but you're absolutely adorable.
Flattery will get you everywhere, of course. But aren't you forgetting an introduction?
They have you there, Master.
Master? So you found a way to summon servants from outside of Chaldea?
Ruin all my surprises, why don't you? Shion Eltnam Sukaris, representing Atlas. And this is my charming prince.
Captain, not Prince. And that's a sorry ship you sailed in on.
I broke down the fundamentals Chaldea was using as the base of summoning circles. And after that, it wasn't very hard to reverse engineer the setup you had created once I knew the end result. The captain here is my arms and legs, my bodyguard and best worker.
Then as a best worker, I should get to work. It'll take some time to get that shadow border fixed up to get to sailing shape. You can get these sailors sorted on your own.
Yes, go ahead. Now, Goredolf Musik. I must say, it's a surprise to see you here alive.
Why? Because I'm weak? Because someone like me couldn't possibly survive the fall of Chaldea? I know full well that Atlas did not think me capable of great things, or I would not have had to fight so hard for control of it. Well, I am. And I accept full responsibility for all actions of Chaldea and the Gurus since I was instated as their director. So do your worst.
Oh, I had no doubt you'd be capable. The surprise is that you are here with the Gurus at all. By my calculations, there was a slim chance of your survival and success, but only on the microscopic chance that you banded together with the Gurus. Even then, it was more likely that their previous director would have regained his authority.
I think I speak for all of us when I say it's been a close call here and there. But he's one of us now. And I don't need to be in charge to be able to help save the world.
Good talk. Now how about I head back out to help the captain with reworking the shadow border?
Did you think I did not recognize you with your new look, Nell Celestine?
I was hoping so. Yes.
I suppose you have no words on your own behalf?
Actually, I think Goredolf here just volunteered himself to answer any questions you might have.
Now hold on 1 minute. I took responsibility for after I took over Chaldea. Anything you did before that is entirely on you. Or Musaki.
Not happening. She still has plenty to answer for as it is. I'd be careful about vouching for Nell if I were you.
So much for that. So, how much do I owe Atlas? Counting damages and previous charges, I wouldn't doubt that a seal designation was off the table. But then, you know as well as I that those can only be enforced if there actually is an Atlas.
Then you should consider yourself lucky that there isn't. As it happens, I saw this version of the future in my calculations, and went to the Wandering Sea to prepare for your arrival. I warned Atlas, of course, but my father didn't see this calamity as any more important than all of the other ways the world could end.
You calculated this far into the future, but didn't think to warn us? Of course, if you had, that would then change our behavior enough to throw off the calculations to require new predictive models of the situation.
I love genius types! You really do understand me. I saw you would be attacked, but I was confident of the survival rates of the group as a whole, so I spent my time preparing a new base here to help set up for the future instead.
You didn't build this place yourself, though. Even counting your servant, I see several types of architecture here, and it looks far too old to have been created in the last few months, or even years.
You caught me. This base wasn't built from scratch. The magicians of the Wandering Sea didn't consider the fate of pan-human history their problem, but they did say we could use this space as long as we didn't interfere with their workshops.
Then we shall be grateful for their help and not touch any of them. And that means you, Miss Celestine.
I have a feeling that we'll have plenty of other opportunities to experiment here.
While we're at it, I want to take a look at that pasta con of yours. The overall design is inspired, but how would you feel about some modifications?